Hi everybody, welcome back to Tunes Reviews. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 fragrances to keep for life, throw everything else out, blah, blah, blah. Nobody in this community would do that unless we're just like fed up and had enough and we found the ones that we like. I've been in that position several times throughout this journey, by the way, and this this was not difficult for me at all. There's been people that have just gone on and on and on about how hard this was. I gotta tell you, I've worn these fragrances time and time again and purchased bottles over and over again throughout the last 5-ish years. So these are all repeat purchases for me, and it wasn't difficult for me to come up with this list at all. So I'm just so much better than everybody. That's not really what this is all about. But I will say this, nobody fucking tagged me. I'm really upset about it. Let's talk about my feelings. That's right, so I'm adding in a 5th category, and that is all year round, signature scent worthy, works in all different types of weather, spring, summer, fall, winter. But there is the other 4 choices that get the selection of 1 per season. So since I wasn't tagged, I figured the hell with it, someone might want to know my opinion on the whole thing, and here we are. If you stick around and watch after I'm done with the selections, you'll get to see my roommate give his opinion on some of these fragrances, well, all of these fragrances sprayed on paper, since I figured it'd be interesting for you all to see what an average nose might think about the fragrances. So let's kick it off with the spring selection. Oh, spring is in the air, it's the dawn of the age of Aquarius. Aquarius. That's right. Springtime, when everything's changing, including my. So, we do, if you haven't noticed, we have a box here. And it's a box that opens. And inside of that box, yes, it's an MFK presentation, MFK. Mason Francis Kirchen, all these other motherfuckers decide that they want to choose Baccarat Rouge. Blah, blah, blah. Baccarat Rouge is nice. I'm not going to knock it. It's actually very nice. But this has been in my steady rotation throughout the years, and this is my 2nd bottle that I've purchased of this. This is none other than Apom Pour Homme. That's right, Apom Pour Homme. And I don't think it gets much better than this when it comes to a spring and summer selection. It's basically just this wonderful honeyed orange blossom, very simple, really refreshing and invigorating. So that is my spring selection. My summer selection that I have for you all, most of you will probably feel as though it's a bit of an obscure choice. I personally love this for summer. If you go back and look at my review on this from years ago, I definitely hit home that I love this in the summertime. I love this in the heat. It is a Tom Ford. It is the only Tom Ford on this list. I could comprise this whole list of Tom Ford, to be honest with you, but diversity. So here we are. And this is Tom Ford Tuscan Leather. Tuscan Leather, I think, is phenomenal. I, for some reason, absolutely love it in the scorching heat. So, absolutely love this fragrance. That is my summer pick. So next we have fall. Fall is my favorite time of the year, period. It's wonderful. I mean, in New York, it's a little odd because we have days where it's 80 to 90 degrees sometimes still at the beginning of fall. And then it goes into like the 50s, 40s, and then sometimes there's a whole blizzard that decides to conjure up. So it's a very odd spectrum. It's like you get every season throughout the year in one to 2 months worth of the season. So it's very, very interesting. But for my choice, even though most people might choose like a gourmand or whatever, for some reason this really reminds me of fall. It is one of my 2 signature scents, and I am on maybe 3 or 4 bottles of this now, and that is none other than Creed's Royal Oud. I absolutely love this fragrance. It's cedar, cinnamon, spices, a tiny bit of oud. I don't think it's really named appropriately, to be honest with you, because the oud isn't very apparent in it, but royal cedar would make more sense, I think. But either way, that is my choice for fall. My choice for winter is one of my, oh my goodness, all of these right here. Like literally, if I was to give everything up, sold off my collection, these 5 is what I was left with. I'd be perfectly okay with it. As you can see, this is a tower fragrance. Yeah, is it L'air de Désert Marocain? It is not. But it is Une Rose de Kandahar. Okay, Une Rose de Kandahar. This is a masterpiece. If you like Musk Ravageur, I think that this is better than Musk Ravageur. It's the reason why I'm comparing the two is because both of them have that cinnamon note. This starts off with a really nice dried rose with some incense and whatnot. It's kind of dated at first, but then it quickly turns into a really nice, almost buttered toast with like cinnamon on top. I don't know. I really enjoy what it does on my skin, and I absolutely love Une Rose de Kandahar, and that is my winter choice. And last but not least, the most reoccurring fragrance in my lineups, I think ever, because it makes it on my spring list, on my fall list, on my winter list. It's on my most complimented list. It's also probably the fragrance I've purchased the most times between this, Allure Homme Sport, and Royal Oud. Those are like the 3 most purchased fragrances that I've actually used over and over and over again, I think. And that is none other than what I would consider to be my signature scent, and have considered to be my signature scent for a couple years now, Reflection Man by Amouage. Yes, love this. This is like the 5th choice, where if I was to choose just one, basically, for my signature scent throughout the whole year, this would be it. So that's it. Those are my 5 choices for life. I hope you all enjoyed. Keep on watching. Right after this, you're going to see me and my roommate, Gavin the Vampire, go through these fragrances and see what he thinks about them. So keep tuned. Stay tuned. Watch my videos. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so just keep watching the video, and you'll see Gavin the Vampire and myself reviewing what he thinks about these fragrances that I chose. Hi everybody, here we are. This is Gavin the Vampire. Gavin, has anybody seen my friend Gavin? Gavin.
Yes. Children of the night, what sweet music they make.
It's like fucking The Godfather mixed with Dracula, I don't know, you know? Okay. Gavin! So, Gavin is here to smell some of these choices, because I thought it would be interesting to include what the average consumer, when it comes to cologne, would think about some of these niche fragrances. I didn't choose a single designer, unless you're considering Tom Ford, but you know Tom Ford.
I know Tom Ford.
Yeah, you know Tom Ford. I purchased Ombre Leather back when it first came out, and had Gavin try it, and he quite enjoys Ombre Leather. So, and I mean, Jesus, the amount of times that I've had some of these fragrances that I've worn around you, so you kind of know some of it. But we're going to start off with the spring selection and see what you think about that. It's time for you to tell me about if you would suck this one's blood. Vampire.
It makes me think of a Yankee Candle.
Does it? In like a bad way, or?
No, in a good way. It's a good... I just wouldn't wear it personally. It's a good smell. It's very, like, sanitary, I guess?
It's clean.
It smells very clean. It's very... more effeminate, on the effeminate side.
You think it's feminine?
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is on paper, too. Yeah, I could definitely... It's a little bit perfumey on the paper.
Mm-hmm.
On my skin, it kind of gets a little bit more honey. So
okay.
the notes are very simple in this. This is Mason Francis Kirchen's A Piece of Me Pour Homme, which is supposed to be like the scent that someone leaves behind in your bed sheets the day after you hook up. But it's very much just like, the way I would describe it is if you took a jar of honey and drizzled it over a stack of fabric softener sheets, dryer sheets. It's because there's a little bit of sweetness in there from the honey, which you don't really get too much of on that piece of paper. But obviously, could you see what I'm talking about when the fabric softener, very clean.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It smells like a clean t-shirt, you know? So good for spring, I think. So that's that one. I don't know why I did that. The next selection is my summer selection, which I think Gavin will quite enjoy, but maybe not. I don't want to influence him whatsoever.
That's super sweet, but super masculine.
Super sweet, but super masculine.
Like, I can see the leather is super strong in it, and then...
So, you know that's Tuscan leather?
Yeah,
okay.
100%.
Yeah.
And then, like you were talking about before, because we were talking about these earlier, the raspberry.
Yeah.
It's there, but it's a small little, a little hint of it. But I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
That one's really nice.
One of my favorites. Absolute favorites. Probably my second or third favorite from Tom Ford. I've always had this in my collection since the private blend fragrances were, I want to say, maybe the second year they came out, I picked this up. So I've owned this since I was 18 years old. It's a good one. It's pricey though, for sure. But yeah, so you'd wear that?
100%. 100%.
Would you wear it if I told you the price point?
If I had the money, yes.
Okay. Arrivederci. Arrivederci. That doesn't make any sense. Next up, I have my fall pick, which is one of my absolute favorites of all time.
It makes me think a lot of Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving, 100%.
What
the piney.
You get pine
to it, 100%. Like, if the color red had a smell, this is what I imagine it would smell like.
That's interesting. So Creed Royal Oud, which is I would consider to be one of my signature scents. What a lot of people would know I smell like, I guess, if they associated like a bottle cologne with me, this would be one of them for sure. I've gone through 3 bottles of this. Also pretty pricey. Retail, I think they go for like $300. Royal Oud is one of my absolute favorites. It's cedar, cinnamon, nutmeg, lots of woods, incense. There's a little bit of like, I think it was a little bit of citrus at the top, but I'm not sure if it's really registering
I'm not
on the paper now.
Citrus at all.
Spices and woods on the paper. But do you like that?
Yeah, I'd wear this.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. Royal Oud, Tuscan Leather, both wins. Liked a palm, but said he wouldn't wear it. We're up for the winter selection now. So next up is my winter selection. This one's kind of difficult for the first hour and a half, I want to say. It's very dated smelling, in my opinion, but maybe not to other people. I'm not sure.
It's a lot stronger than the other ones.
Yeah.
Like, it hits harder, but it's very... a little bit of cinnamon behind it. I smell some cinnamon and mint. I personally am not a huge fan, but it's not the worst. Like, I think it smells good, but it's not something that I would wear.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Un Rose de Kandahar. Now, the other day when I was in the car with you, you said you smell like cinnamon.
Is this the cinnamon?
And you said
one?
it smelled good. So, but yeah, on my skin for whatever reason, cinnamon, it just turns into like a beautiful cinnamon bomb. I don't know. Smells really good. The first couple hours are a little difficult. They smell like vintage. It smells like vintage cologne at first, I think, like something you'd see like expect a 50-year-old gentleman to be wearing. But after the first hour or so, it dies down and becomes really beautiful on my skin. But that's the interesting thing about paper, though. When you spray these on paper, you're getting the top notes. So he's getting essentially what it would be like for the first hour, and that's the more difficult stage of the fragrance. And last but certainly not least, we have my selection for the everyday, the signature scent forever throughout the whole year.
It makes me think of Valentine's Day.
Yeah?
Yeah, like the smell. It's a very light smell. Like delicate almost.
Delicate.
I really like it a lot. I feel like this is something that I'd wear more if I were to go out on a date with somebody.
Sure.
But like if I was getting up for something fancy, I'd probably choose the Tom Ford. But like an everyday thing or like trying to impress somebody, this is 100% what I would choose.
So you like it? You wear it?
Yeah, I'd wear this all day.
So this is by far the most complimented fragrance I've ever owned, and I've owned just about anything and everything. I mean, Aventus, fuck off. Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce gets a lot of compliments, you know, things like that. Sauvage, this takes the cake. It beats all of them. It's actually really not light on my skin. If I wore like 3 or 4 sprays, it projects like a beast. Some of our coworkers, like Shane, like had me write it down for. Yeah, so this one is one of those where it's just a magnet for positive comments, and people really like it. I love it.
Really pretty smell.
Yeah,
it's really pretty.
So that's Almawage Reflection Man. What I would consider to be my staple. If I had to get rid of everything, this would probably be the one that I chose to keep forever. Just my daily cologne. If I had never been interested in collecting fragrances, if I just had to choose one as a normal dude, this would be it. Because it kind of works for all weather. It's kind of a little bit airy. It's a little clean, but it's a little sweet.
Yeah.
It's like all of them.
It's super... And I feel like the problem with a lot of colognes is they're overwhelming at times. And this one's just super, like, delicate, like I said earlier.
Right.
Super delicate.
It's very soft. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed. This is Gavin again, the vampire. His legs were featured in my Paco Rabanne Lucky fragrance review. But either way, we'll see if he decides to come back on the show again. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all later. This has been another Tunes review. Check ya. Check you at the door. Check your bags at the door. Check your luggage before you get on your flight.